the six of spades.
Six of spades. Now what I want you to do is guess about how far down in the deck that was.
20.
20? Watch. It's weird, I know.
That was totally bizarre, dude. Wow.
Hi, my name is Peter Cassford, and thanks for watching my video, Pass with Care. The goal of this video is not just to teach you the mechanics of the classic pass, but to teach you how to do it in real-world performing situations. Obviously, anyone can do the pass if you're only dealing with one angle, but it's when you're in a walk-around situation and totally surrounded by your spectators that it really becomes challenging. Also, this video is not an encyclopedia of all the different pass techniques. I think it's far better for you to learn one technique extremely well than to learn a dozen different techniques halfway. And finally, I'm going to teach you some confidence-building routines that will help you integrate it into your performing repertoire. With all that being said, let's get to work. The classic pass is the oldest slide in card magic. At one time, if you wanted to learn card magic, you had to learn the classic pass. In recent years, however, many performers have avoided it because they believe it's too much work to move all 52 cards just to control one card, while other performers have avoided it because they think it's simply too difficult to learn, and there are many other controls that are much easier. In my opinion, I think all the time you invest learning the classic pass will be well worth it, because it is one of the most natural card controls you can do. In fact, if you do it properly, your audience won't even be aware that anything has happened. They simply place their card in the center of the deck, and instantly it rises to the top of the deck. Or they place their card in the middle, and it's instantly in your pocket. What more could you ask for in a card control? Now, the topics on this video are basically coming from three categories. Number one are methods that have been around for ages. Number two are techniques that have been taught to me from other performers. And number three are things I've picked up along the way that have made the pass easier for me, and hopefully for you too. Next, I'd like to address some of the myths associated with the classic pass. Now, the first, and probably the biggest, is that the pass has to be done quickly. Now, not only is this totally false, but if you do the pass quickly and you flash while you're doing it, you greatly increase the chances that your audience is going to see the move. And if they don't see exactly what happened, they're going to see a flicker and know that something happened, which is not what you want. Now, to prove that the pass can be done slowly, I'm going to take about 10 seconds to do a pass. And now, the 10-second pass. Watch close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10-second pass. Now we're going to try this again, but this time with the card face up, because I'm afraid that some of you won't believe that I really did a pass. So watch closely. We'll place the 7 of spades in the center of the deck and watch close for the 10-second pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10-second pass. The next myth I'd like to talk about is that the classic pass is not good for a card control. Now, this is one I've even heard from knowledgeable cardmen who say that it's good for a color change, but not good for a card control. Now, this doesn't even make sense to me at all. If it's good while the people are looking at the pass, then shouldn't it be good if they're not looking at it? The final myth I'd like to talk about is that the pass cannot be done surrounded. Well, I can tell you from experience that not only can it be done surrounded, but it can totally fool all your spectators all the time. Before we begin learning the pass, I'd like to show you how I get my pinky break. Now, the reason I'm going to show you right up front is because I'm going to be using this technique throughout the video, and I don't want you to be confused by what I'm doing. Now, this technique was developed by John Carney, and it's in his book, Carnicopia. To begin, we're going to have a card selected, and it's going to be returned to the left-hand packet. Now, I'm going to turn mine face up because I want it to be more clear what's going on. But obviously, when you perform this, your card will be face down. Now, we're going to dribble our right-hand packet onto the selection, but not directly on top. We're going to start off to the side a little bit and actually dribble them directly onto the pinky. Now, I should make a little note about the left hand. The left hand fingers are straightened out a little bit, not as it like you're normally holding the deck. It's a little bit more straight, but they're still slightly cupped so that the cards don't fall out. Now, we're going to dribble this right-hand packet onto the pinky. Now, the first few cards should land right about here. And you're going to continue in one motion. This isn't broken up. I'm just showing you for clarity. You're going to continue dribbling the rest of the cards over to this other side. And you're going to make a big mess like this. Let me do that again so you can see it a little bit clearer when I do it all in one motion. The cards are just dribbled, starting on top of the pinky, and then just carried over to the whole deck. And it makes a big mess. In fact, it doesn't even look possible for you to control the card. But if you see it from the bottom, the card directly above the selection is right here on top of my pinky. So all I need to do is push up on my pinky just a little bit like that as I square the cards. And what happens is I automatically get a pinky break. Now, if you're not used to doing a pinky break, let me just show you a little something. Only the fleshy part of your pinky goes in the break of the cards. And from the front, it should be totally straight. You shouldn't see any sign or any little crack of the break. Let's do this all again one more time. The selection is placed, you dribble the cards over, making a mess, and then you just square the cards, and that is how we get our pinky break. The next topic I'd like to discuss is the hand positions for the classic pass. Now, first of all, I'm right-handed, so I hold the deck in my left hand. If you're left-handed, you'll have to transpose these instructions. Now, the first thing I want you to notice is the pinky. Notice how far in the break the pinky is. It's almost up to its second knuckle. Now, your second and third fingers are also very deep on the deck. They're up to their second knuckles as well. And your first finger and thumb are actually only up to their first knuckle. Now, my friend Ken Nepper, who is a student of Mendoza, tells me that Mendoza used to call this the claw. Now, the reason is obvious because of how deep in the hand the cards are. And also, this is a very secure hold of the deck. If you were to be bumped, these cards wouldn't fall out. Now, your right hand holds the deck with only your first finger and thumb. Now, first of all, I'm going to turn the deck vertical like this. And we're going to actually only hold on to what was the original bottom section of the deck, or in this case, the left section. And we're going to hold it at the top two corners, just like this. Now, I'm going to remove the bottom section just for clarity right now. Now, your first finger and thumb hold just like this. And this is almost like a biddle grip if it were held this direction. Now, the second finger is going to pivot this section to a horizontal position, like so. All you have to do is curl in your second finger and it pivots the deck like this. Now, with the rest of the deck, this is actually even easier because your thumb helps in the pivoting, not by moving, but just by being there and being another anchor point. So watch as just this finger is doing all the work, and these two are the pivots. Watch close. Just pivots up, and these cards actually move out of the way. Now let me show you what that looks like from the front. Basically, remember we have the deck in the vertical position. Now your first finger and thumb are the pivot points, and they're going to hold the original bottom section of the deck at the top corners, like so. Now your second finger is going to actually do the movement of the cards just by your second finger curling in it actually pivots the deck, the section of the deck, from the vertical position to the horizontal like that. Now again, the thumb of your left hand helps in this as it's in the correct position by not allowing the cards to move upwards. They just go like that, and that's how the pivot should look. Let's do that one more time. Let's put this all together now. The left hand holds the deck in the claw. The right hand comes over to its position, and the right second finger kicks the left section to a horizontal position, moving the other section out of the way. Once that's happened, your left fingers curl in, bringing their section back, and the two packets are squared together. Let's try that once again. Hold the deck in the claw. Again, make sure the deck is vertical. The right second finger kicks its section horizontal, moving the other section out of the way. Then the left fingers curl in, and the two packets are squared. Now that we've learned the basic mechanics of the pass, I'm going to teach you how to transfer the deck from the pinky break to the claw. Now what you're going to do is your right hand, first finger, and thumb are going to take the deck. Basically, these two fingers are going to hold the weight of the deck. You could remove your hand, your left hand, if you wanted to. However, we're not going to do that. It's just, this is taking over the weight of the deck so that you can reposition your fingers. Now your left hand pinky is going to go way into the break, and your other fingers basically go to their position in the claw. Now all this is going to happen as you transfer the deck from a horizontal position to a vertical position. Just like that. Let's see that once again. From here to here. Now from the front, it should just look like you took the deck and you turned it to a vertical position. However, you start from a pinky break, and by taking the deck like this, you're able to transfer it to the claw. Let's take a look at what the pass looks like from the front again. Start in a vertical position, and it should look like this. Now remember to take your time with the pass. It's much more important for it to look smooth than it is for it to be done quickly. Watch again. Start in a vertical position. It should look like that. The classic pass. Next, we're going to talk about the angle problems of the pass. Now the pass, the way we're going to learn it, is good from the front and the right side. Your only weakness is on the left side, and if someone happens to be behind you, kind of peeking over your shoulders. But the misdirection I'm going to show you a little bit later, you won't even have to worry about those angles. Now, you can also adjust your body to help with your angles. Like, for instance, say someone is on your left side in your bad angle. All you have to do is turn your body and face them and talk to them, ask them a question as you do the pass. That way, they're at a good angle because they're straight on with you, and everyone else is at a good angle because they're to your right side. Next, we're going to talk about the two major flashing points of the pass. Now, the first is this top corner, as your fingers are pivoting the bottom section to the horizontal position, and the top packet is moving out of the way, right, like this. Notice how this top corner you can see as it moves out of the way, just like that. Now, the second flashing point is down at the bottom. It's right below your fingers in this area here. Watch as the packets come around the bottom. See how you can see my fingers move, and you can also see the card sometimes as the cards are coming down. Now the best way to cover the two major flashing points is by using a move called the rock. Now the rock basically consists of rocking your hands up and towards yourself to cover the top flash, and then moving down and away from yourself to cover the bottom flash. Now the way this works is that when you tip up like so, the fingers of your right hand block the audience's view of this top corner. And when you rock forward and down, it blocks the audience's bottom view of the cards. Let's look at the rock once again from behind. As before, we start in a vertical position, and we're going to do the classic pass, but before we begin, we rock our hands back. Now in one smooth movement, we're going to come from here to here. Now this is basically halfway through the pass. Now when we did the pass before, it was basically in this position. However, because we're rocking forward and back, now it's simply a little bit of an angle, because now we're rocking down. Then all there is left is for your left fingers to curl in and square the deck. Let's go over that once again. Rock your hands back. Then we rock forward in one smooth motion, doing the first half of the pass. Curl our fingers in and complete the pass. Now in normal performance, this is one smooth action. I've broken it down into several steps just to make it easier for you to follow. So once again, with everything smoothly together, rock your hand back, forward, and then complete the pass. And that is the rock. One final note on the rock. When you're first learning, you may want to use a bigger rocking motion because it provides more cover. But as you get better and more efficient at the move, all you need to do is a slight rocking motion of the hands, and it provides plenty of cover for the pass. Now the next thing we're going to learn is my variation on the rock. The reason I came up with this is I thought it was really unnatural to rock my hands back and then forward. So I figured out a way to eliminate one of those movements. The way we're going to do that is by asking the audience a question. Now as we ask them the question, we're going to gesture. Now the question I usually ask is, did everybody see the card? Now as I ask that, I then bring my hands together and then come forward, doing the second half of the rock. Because basically, in this position, it's the same as if I started doing the rock and rocked back and then rocked forward again. So what we do is we just start in the up position. I gesture, start in the up position, and do the second half of the rock. And that is my variation on the rock. Now I'm going to do it one more time just so you can see what's happening. We'll place the 3 of diamonds in the center as if that was their selected card. And then I ask a question. Did everybody see the card okay? As they're answering me, I just bring my hands down, and that is my variation on the rock. Now in addition to the rock, I also use several different forms of misdirection all at the same time. Now the first form of misdirection is I always do the move on the offbeat. Now the offbeat is a certain point in your routine where the audience naturally relaxes. Now to create a point like that, what I do, first of all I have a card returned to the deck and I bury it. Now you don't want to do the move at this point because everyone's attention is on you at this point. So you square up the cards and you relax, which is going to cause everyone else to relax, and that's when you want to do your pass. So let's start from the beginning. They've chosen the Queen of Hearts, and you bury it in the deck. And now you relax, which causes them to relax, and that's when you do the pass. Now the second form of misdirection that we're going to use is what I call mental misdirection. Now instead of drawing the audience's attention over here, what we're going to do is cause them to go internal. To do that, we simply ask them a question, such as, did everybody see the card? Now what that does is it causes them to ask themselves, did I see the card? And what was the name of that card? While they're doing that, it's almost impossible for them to watch your pass. So let's put this all together. For instance, they selected the 7 of Hearts and it's squared in the deck. Now you relax. In fact, even drop your arms to the side because it just really says that I'm not doing anything right now. So your audience is going to relax. Then you, at that point of relaxation, you say, now did everybody see the card okay? And as they're thinking about that, you do your pass. And what I just did is once again my variation on the rock. It all flows together so smoothly. Let me show you once again at full speed. The card is placed in the center. Relax. Now did everybody see the card okay? As they're thinking about it, they miss the pass. Now this final layer of misdirection is kind of a combination between the mental misdirection and traditional misdirection. To do this, we start the same. The card is selected and lost in the deck, and you relax. Now you're going to ask a question, but not in the same way. Instead of asking the question in general, you're going to direct it to one specific person. Now this is going to do several things for you all at once. However, you don't want to just pick any person. You want to pick the person who's at your worst angle. For the classic pass, your worst angle is on the left side, in this area here. So you pick the person over here, and you ask him, did you see the card okay? Now, as he's thinking about this is more misdirection than in the previous question. The reason for this is, he didn't expect to be asked this question. All of a sudden, the pressure's on him, and everyone else is looking at him for the answer. So not only is this guy totally misdirected, but the whole audience is now looking to him for the answer, and as they look to him, that's when you do your pass. Let's do this all again just so you get the whole idea. The Jack of Spades is placed in the deck, and you relax. Now, did you see the card okay? As everyone looks to him, of course, they miss your pass. So as you can see, between doing the move on the offbeat, the mental misdirection of asking someone a question, and the traditional form of misdirection of everyone looking to that person for the answer, there's more than enough cover for your pass. Now, in addition to this, there's also natural forms of misdirection that you can use. This could be anything from the waiter dropping a plate on the floor to the lady you're performing for knocking over her glass. It could be literally anything, as long as you're ready for it and ready to take advantage of it. Now let me tell you about a situation that happened to me. I was performing at our local restaurant here in Phoenix, and I was doing a card trick for a guy at the bar. He had selected a card, say the Jack of Spades, and returned it to the deck. Now as soon as I squared the cards, this beautiful waitress walks by. Now his attention immediately went to the waitress. As I saw that, I did my pass and I raised the cards up like this. I said, I won't do anything until you're ready. Now to him, I was incredibly fair. I put the card in the deck and then raised it like this at my fingertips. But as you can see, I took advantage of natural misdirection. One of the major benefits of the riffle pass is that it gives you a reason to have both hands on the deck at the same time. Now this is very important because you want your pass to look natural. The second benefit is that it also makes it seem like the move is over much sooner than it really is. Next, we're going to discuss some of the variations on the classic pass. The first is called the riffle pass. To begin, a card is placed in the center of the deck, and all you need to do is simply riffle the deck, and it comes right to the top. Let's do that one more time. The card is placed in the center and buried. Then all you need to do is riffle the edges, and it comes right to the top. Now from behind, the riffle pass should look like this. We kick back, one smooth motion, do the pass. Now as soon as this packet is starting to come back and has cleared the other packet, your fingers are curling in, you begin the riffle. Now I did that really loud there. I'm trying to do it slow, so that's part of that. But when you do it, it should almost, you shouldn't really hear it. It should be a really smooth thing like that. People sometimes have a tendency to do that really loud. In fact, I had this problem for a long time. I would, as soon as I did the pass, I would go like that. And that basically tells people you just did something and draws attention to the cards, which you don't want to do. In fact, Edward Marlowe said that the riffle should not even be audible. It should be really smooth and quiet. So let's do this once again. Okay, back, rock, forward, and then riffle. Now, I'll speed it up a little bit. It would look something like this. Now, you can do a square round like I just did there. That basically, once you've done the pass, you can square the cards. It kind of emphasizes the fact that you don't have any breaks or anything. The cards are all squared. And that is the riffle pass. Let's take another look at that riffle pass. Remember to keep the deck in a vertical position to begin with, and then do the rock, and then end up with the riffle. Now the jiggle pass also gives you a reason to have both hands on the deck at the same time, but it also has the added benefit of allowing you to do the move during the natural action of squaring the deck. The next pass I'd like to talk about is called the jiggle pass. Now this happens to be one of my personal favorites that I use especially when I'm totally surrounded by people. What it does is uses a natural action of squaring the cards to give you even more cover for the pass. The three of spades is placed in the center of the deck, and as you square the cards, the three comes to the top. Let's do that once again. The three of spades is placed in the center, and as you square the cards, just a little jiggle, the card comes right to the top. Let's take a closer look at the jiggle pass. We'll place the four hearts face up in the center, and then just with the jiggle, it comes right to the top. To better illustrate the jiggle pass, I'm going to show you from the top view. We begin the same as the other passes, with the rock. Now as we rock forward, we're going to do the same thing we did before, with the addition of taking the right hand packet and moving it about half its length forward as we rock forward. So rock forward, bring the right hand packet forward for half its length, then the left hand packet curls in and the pass is completed with the jiggle. Let's do that once again. Rock back, rock forward, bringing the right hand's packet forward for half its length. Left hand fingers curl in, and the pass is completed. And that is the jiggle pass. Now let me show you one more time from the front. The three of spades is placed in the center of the deck and buried. Then as you square the cards up, it comes right to the top. Once again, buried, square the cards, and it comes to the top, just like that. As with the other variations, the dribble pass gives you a reason to have both hands on the deck. It also has the added benefit of allowing you to do the move while you're performing an action that actually seems like you're being incredibly fair. The final pass I'd like to talk about is called the dribble pass. Now on this one, the cards is buried in the deck, and all you need to do is just dribble the cards like that, and the card comes to the top. Of course, we wouldn't really do it with the card face up, so let me show you what it looks like when the card is face down. The cards are dribbled on top, and then it's just a simple dribble of the cards, and it comes right to the top. Let's take a look at the dribble pass from the back. Now most of this pass is the same. We start with the rock, and we rock forward. Now the difference is, as the left fingers curl in, as soon as they pass the other packet, you can begin dribbling the cards. Now this makes for a very smooth pass, because you don't have to worry about squaring the cards at the end. Kick back, rock forward, and as soon as it passes, you dribble. Rock back, tip forward, and dribble. Let me show you that one more time from the front. The four of clubs is placed in the center, and then we just dribble and it comes right to the top. Not only does this variation give you a reason to have both hands on the deck at the same time, but it also allows you to do the pass while performing a natural action. Throughout this video, I've been stressing the fact that the pass does not need to be done quickly. Now the reason for this is that too many performers focus all their attention on how fast they can do the pass instead of how smooth and natural they can make it look. Now as you get more proficient at the pass, you can slowly increase the speed, but just make sure that you don't do that at the expense of a smooth and natural looking pass. The next subject we're going to discuss is how to build confidence in your ability in the pass. Now obviously practice is very key here, because the more you practice, the more comfortable you become with the move, and the less you have to think about it. There are certain routines that I do that I don't even realize I'm doing the pass. My hands are just used to doing it, and I don't even have to think about it. There's been a couple times where I totally wasn't sure, did I do the move or not? But I had just become so accustomed to doing it that I did it without even thinking about it. Now another thing, when you're first learning the pass, it's easier if you only do it for one or two people at a time. This enables you to watch their reactions and watch where their attention is. Now another key is if you can make eye contact with the person, then you know they're not looking at your hands, and that way, as long as your pass is smooth and it's not a big jerky movement, they're not going to see it. One final tip before I end this section is that there are certain tricks where you can actually do the pass and it doesn't really matter whether they see it or not. Now the trick that I used for this purpose and really helped me develop my ability in the pass is Francis Carlisle's The Homing Card from the book Stars of Magic. Now this trick is perfectly designed and it really works great with the pass. The reason is, once the card is returned to the deck and I do my pass, it doesn't even matter if they see it. Because in a second, I'm going to show my hand empty and reach inside my pocket and pull out a card. So once I do that, that takes all the heat off the deck and they don't even remember. In fact, sometimes I do the pass bad on purpose for that trick. Next, we're going to learn a routine that's going to help you develop your ability in the pass and give you a chance to practice it in front of real people. Also, this is a good trick to kind of be a reality check for you because you can find out exactly what people are seeing. To begin, I'm going to show you the original trick. This has been around for a while and I'm not even exactly sure whose it is. I've asked a lot of friends of mine and they've seen it before, but they're not sure who did it. But then I'm going to show you my variation, and I hope you enjoy it. To begin, what we do is we're going to run through the cards and have someone point at any card they want. Just point at a face-up card. Let's say they point at the King of Hearts. And what you're going to do is ask them, I want you to estimate about how many cards are on top of the King of Hearts. And as you do that, as they're thinking about it, you have that mental misdirection here, and you do your pass. Now, because the mental misdirection is so strong, a lot of times they don't even realize that the King of Hearts has now come to the face of the deck. So what you do is, if they haven't noticed, you really play it up because you can get a really strong reaction from this. If they haven't noticed, you say, now watch close. 3, 2, 1. And instantly, it seems to them that instantly the King of Hearts just, boom, comes to the front while your hand wasn't even covering it. Now, on another case, they may notice that it comes to the top, but if you've done a decent pass, it's still going to be amazing to them because all of a sudden they saw it down the pack and then instantly it rises to the top. It's just the moment is different. That's the main difference between if they see it and if they don't see it. Now, I want to show you my variation on this. In my variation, you're running through the pack and they point to a card again. Let's say they say the Queen of Hearts. What you do is you start the same. You say, about how far down on the deck do you think that card is? But as you do that, you raise the deck to a level where they can't see the top card. This allows you to control when the moment happens. Now I asked them, how far down in the deck do you think that card is? And I have them point to it. Now this is a good reality check because you know if they saw your pass or not. Because if they say, well, duh, it's on top now, then you need to work on your pass a little more. If they don't, if they point somewhere in the middle, you have two choices. One, you could either say, watch close, I'll riffle from like this, and you just riffle the cards and show that it's now on top of the deck. Or, my favorite method, say, watch close, and you count 3, 2, and as you're counting, you slowly move the deck down into view. 3, 2, 1. And boom, you show it's instantly rose to the top of the deck, and this gets an incredible reaction. I hope you try it. As we recorded these performance segments, I tried to give you the best possible viewing angle to see the pass. Now the reason for this is, I want you to pay particular attention to my timing and where the audience's attention is as I do the pass. We're in downtown Tempe, Arizona, and we're going to do some live performances in front of real people so you can see how this stuff really works. Take one out. Look at it, remember it?
Okay.
All right, go ahead and set it in. Now, you didn't remember the card, right?
I sure did.
Because if you don't, it's a lot more.
It screws it up.
Oh, totally.
It doesn't work.
Look what we're going to do.
Here's what we're going to do.
We're going to take a different card. You ever been hypnotized before?
Not this time, no.
Okay, tell you what, hold your hand out like that. I'm just going to take the 3 of hearts and set it here.
Right.
Now, that's not your card, is it?
I didn't think so.
Okay. Watch close. 3, 2, 1. Just like that.
That's my card. I'm going to be shocked. That's my card. That's my card. That's my card. That was so cool.
Well, see, the weird thing is it's not actually your card.
It was my card.
No, it's you're hypnotized. See, it actually is the 3 of hearts. So it's
This is the kind of thing I need to check myself up every day.
Remember it?
All right.
I know.
Okay, we all got it.
Go ahead and set it in the middle. Now, did everybody get a chance to see it okay?
No.
But I got to admit, if you don't, you didn't.
I'll tell you what it was in.
Okay, I tell you what, this one, it doesn't actually matter. We're going to use a different card, the 10 of clubs. Now, that wasn't it, right?
No.
Okay, hold your hand out like that. I'm going to, you ever been hypnotized before, anybody?
No.
Hold it with your thumb. You're going to be
Oh.
hypnotized in just a second.
No.
Look me in the eyes. 3, 2, 1, just like that. No, it doesn't seem like anything happened. But if you look, this isn't actually your card. It should look like it.
Oh,
Okay, Diane,
no.
did it work for everybody? Or
Yeah, I saw you.
okay, yeah. Watch close. 3, 2, 1, right back.
That's not my I was holding it dirty. You know.
This time just queen out of card. Yeah, this is sweet. Okay. Now what we're going to do is I want you to guess about how many cards are above, how far down. Yeah.
24.
Okay, now watch. You see it? What card was it?
The jacket, the black diamond.
The ace of spades?
Ace of spades, there we go. Oh, whoa. I blinked and it got there.
That's weird, huh? Just look through, point out a card. Just point out.
The one that was mine?
Or just any card you want.
Alright, let's just take that card.
Okay, we'll leave it in here.
Now it's upside down. Okay.
We're going to take the 7 hearts.
Right.
Now, about how far down on the deck do you think
About
that was?
middle, I think.
About the middle of the deck? Okay,
Look
watch.
at it. Wait a minute, there it is.
How in the heck did you do that?
Wait a minute.
Just name one of them.
I'm going to do 6 of spades.
6 of spades. Now, what I want you to do is guess about how far down in the deck that one is.
20.
20? Watch. It's weird, I know.
That was totally bizarre, dude. Wow.
I'd like to thank you once again for watching this video, and I hope that the techniques that we've learned will be a big help on your road to mastering the classic pass. And now in closing, I'd just like to say, always remember to pass with care.